to right there.
I'm Tiffany. What? This video is 7 of the Dresden Sew Along, and today all we have left to do after I cough is put the last of the sashing on the top and the left side of the quilt and the final border. And I was watching videos on this last night, so obviously the volume was on. So let's see who's here. We got Judy here. She says hello, Scott and Tiffany and Scott and Quilting Friends. We got Kim here, says hi to Judy. We got Tony here, going to get in on a live. Glad you're here. We got BJ here. It says good morning to me and to Scott. We got Angela here. Hello, Tiffany and Scott and everyone. Kim is saying hi to everyone. And Angela is taking a break from doing some cleaning to watch. Kim grabbed some crackers and cheese to snack. Heather is here, says hey, hey. Hello, Heather. We got Joyce here, says hi, everyone. Tiffany and Scott. Vicky is here saying hello. Darlene is here, says hello from the doctor's office, being way to be seen. Well, what better thing to do than watch me while sitting at the doctor's office, huh?
Yeah.
Kathleen is here with a wave. Back is killing. Oh, sorry, Darlene. Hopefully the doctor can fix you. And everybody's saying hi. And hello, and everybody's saying hello. Okay, so today we're on video 7 of the Dresden Sew Along. Again, like I said, we just have to add the top sashing and the left side sashing, and then the final border, and then that's it, and it's done and ready to be quilted when I order the backing fabric. But I have to obviously make sure with my client what color and blah 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 blah.
Weren't we just gonna go to Hobby Lobby? Isn't that the plan? Just go down there with her.
Oh, yeah, true. We could do that and or order. Doesn't matter. Either way. Anyway, so yeah, and then the rest of this series, all the rest of the videos will be the second project that comes from it, but it's going to go into the same playlist.
Hi, Emily. Emily's here.
Hi, Emily. So what I need to do is cut one more strip. So I think we were at 15 strips of the sashing. I may be wrong. No, we cut 15, and then I cut another 7.
I honestly don't remember.
I probably cut 22 strips, so I need to cut one more, 23 strips, because I need 7 more sashing strips that are 23.5 inches. So if you didn't have to trim your blocks and they're 24 inch, just know that you'll need probably 1 extra more strip than I used on this whole entire thing, because literally it's just a ½ an inch difference. You never know. And then cornerstones, I need to cut 8 more cornerstones. So I'm just going to cut another strip from my cornerstone fabric here, and then we're just going to cut the border fabric, and then we'll have leftover fabric from the background fabric, from the sashing fabric, from the border fabric. There's going to be a little bit of leftover, and then my leftover fat quarters, all of that, and then all of my little scraps that are in my box are going to the secondary project. So yeah, that's all really. The rest of everything, from building those Dresdens, once they're ironed and sewn on, everything goes together. Like any other quilt, it's oversized and it goes together super quick. So we're going to start with cutting, well actually we need to cut one more 2.5 inch strip off of my sashing fabric first.
Hi,
Add
Kathleen.
it to this. Hi, Kathleen. We're going to add it to this long piece, and then I'm going to from then on, all I have to do is just attach or cut the 7 pieces off of it. Alright, let's grab a cutter. I'm going to cut that. Fold this up because now I don't need it. We're going to add this. We're going to cut off the salvages and add it to end right here with a 1/4 inch seam. Just gonna put it right sides together, add it to the end, And then I'm gonna just finger press it.
Hi Joe, Joe's here.
Hi Joe. I'm just gonna finger press it because why not? It's nice and flat anyway. And now I'm gonna cut 7 23.5-inch strips off of here. Or, you know, sashing pieces. So I'm just gonna line it up on a line.
Hi Carissa.
Go to 23.5 and start cutting all these. So we have 1.
Hi JK.
Hello everybody, welcome.
She says, almost missed you. We just got on. We got a while.
2. I'm just lining them up on a line, using my mat as my guide. 3. 4. 5. Well, maybe I didn't need to cut that last one. I don't know. Let's see right now. It's okay. Like I said, all this stuff goes towards the secondary project anyway. 6. And 7. I did. That wasn't a full strip. So yeah, I did need to cut the last one. I just used a tiny, tiny bit off of it, that's all.
Carissa wants to borrow me for the day. She has 265 half square triangles to be ironed.
Oh yeah, everybody needs an iron man.
Skills.
Alright, so now I'm going to take the leftover of my fat quarter and just cut 1 strip right here off the bottom because I only need 8 and I have this little piece right here. So I'm just going to cut a 2.5-inch strip off of this bottom section right here. And the rest of this goes with my extras pile. And then we're going to subcut. Line this up and we're going to cut 8 2.5-inch squares. So here's 2.
Kathleen says, to no surprise, this quilt is really beautiful. She's not into the
4.
Civil War type fabrics, but you really like this.
5. 6. 7, and 1 more makes 8. Just like that. And this can go again with my scrap. So I have 8 cornerstones that I needed. And we're going to add cornerstones and put these together. So,
Hi Nita.
I'll move that out of the way. I need 3 strips and 3 cornerstones for the top. So I'm just going to put them all together in one long row. So here's 1, and I'm going to press it towards the sashing, not towards my cornerstone. So here's 1, and then this will be number 2.
Kim finally got her blades pressed and sorted for plates. She has 4 blades sewn together.
I'm going to add another cornerstone. And add 1 more sashing strip and 1 more cornerstone. It's not starting with the cornerstone, it's ending. The next row will start and end with a cornerstone. That's why we needed 8 and 7.
Once Carissa's done ironing, she can finally start sewing rainbow blocks. She said, yay.
Ending with a cornerstone on this. So this is going to be the top sashing. So it should fit perfectly on the top of the quilt. And then We're just going to set that right here because that's top, and then this one is going to start and end with a cornerstone. So I'm going to put one on here and then switch it to the other side. So I'm going to move it around like this.
She ordered Baby Yoda Field of Day on the floor. I guess I'm starting another quilt soon and have no idea what to make with them.
That's funny.
Baby Yoda Daily Deal.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday in the email. I didn't order anything.
Kathleen's telling everybody she wants them all to know that we're the best group of kind, loving, and big-hearted, compassionate friends.
Aww.
She loves and appreciates each one of them. Well, she had knee surgery, so they're all telling her best to, get well soon.
Yes, get well soon. Alright, so I'm going to put this guy on. And right now I'm just finger pressing because I'm going to press these onto the quilt after I sew them on. I'm just going to finger press, sew it on, then press.
Why don't you send her a picture of that Star Wars quilt you made? Do you still have a picture of that?
Yeah, I made a Star Wars quilt years ago. It's probably, I got a
I have a picture on my phone. If you want, I'll send it to you, and then you can send it to her. Tiff will have to send you a picture of her Star Wars quilt she made, Carissa.
When I was in the beginning and didn't know what I was doing, I was still, I
Well,
had an
it still
obsession
came
with
out awesome.
pixel quilts in the beginning.
It still came out awesome. Hi, Katrina.
Alright, I'm going to finger press this, and then add,
Katrina's going to go
last
visit
one.
Sherry.
Ooh, nice.
Tell her we all said hi.
Hope she's doing better. Alright, so here's now my side. So I'm going to put this behind me for now, and I'm going to grab my top, and we're going to sew the top sashing on first. So Mr. Scotty, if you can get the iron ready for me.
Yep. Well, I asked you earlier if you
So I'm
needed
going to
it.
make sure what direction, and I know this is my top because there's 3 across this whole thing. And I'm going to say sorry in advance for all those following along. My brain saw big quilt in my brain, and so far it's supposed to be twin size, but it's turning out queen. So you guys are just all going to have a queen size quilt, all of you that are following the directions. Which is good, because the bigger the quilt, the better, right?
It's because you always go bigger. Hey, Auntie Ann.
So just because I'm going to say sorry now, I thought it was going to be smaller. So the general idea is 2 Dresdens across this size, 2 across by 3 down would be twin, 3 across by 4 down is full queen, and 4 across by 4 down, because it's one big square, is for a king size, unless you want it longer, but then it would end up like 130 something inches long, which is kind of long for a king. So just know 2 by 3 would be twin, 3 by 4 is full queen, and 4 by 4 is king. Now that I got it in my head to know the difference, because this is quite big. So we're making queen size.
Tiff makes ogre size? Never.
Alright, so let's sew this on. I'm just holding it. I'm gonna soon find my first seam, and I'm gonna nest it. I didn't press anything, I'm just gonna hold it right here. Should have showed all that yesterday on May 4th be with you.
Well, I didn't think of it till just now.
He wants to show everybody. That one has glow in the dark. That one does not have glow in the dark.
This one glows in the dark.
That one glows in the dark, and we found out by accident because I
Yep.
turned the lights off and it was
Yep.
glowing.
She made the person pillowcases with this, and that's how we found out.
So yeah, I have tons of Star Wars fabric.
Yeah. We got all these on sale way back when at Walmart for $1.30 a yard, so we bought the whole bolts of each one. So there you go, there's the Star Wars. Now I gotta figure out how to put them all away.
Just know at this point this is a very heavy quilt now. You gotta be very careful. as you sew because it's going to want to shift. By stopping in the seams.
Kim likes the fabric. She says, "Oh, cool fabric." Don't make a Star Wars fan out of you.
Come down here to my end, nest this seam right here, which seems to be wanting to go a totally different way. Although it's not, it's just because the end I pressed everything so fast yesterday. And I am going to back stitch, because I don't want anything to come undone. And I'm going to press this real quick out of the camera.
See you later, Darlene. Hi,
Hopefully Duffy
Kathy.
gives you good news. Alright. I'm dropping things here, guys. I'm dropping things.
Oh, am I supposed to move the camera?
No, it's fine.
Okay, because I'm still trying to get this put back away. You have it in here quite tightly.
So I'm just rolling it back.
Okay, all the Star Wars fabrics now put away. Hope you got a good look at that, Carissa, because I don't think I'm pulling it out again. Okay, let's come see what the boss is doing over here.
So I'm just putting on the top, just pressing it back so that it lays nice and flat. Everything matched up perfectly, so all my cornerstones are nice in there. And now we're going to add the side. So, like I said, it starts with a cornerstone, and then it will end with a cornerstone with 4 strips in between. So I'm just going to bring this over here carefully.
And move it on over.
I have the quilt top on the bottom and the sashing on the top because it's really hard to do thin sashing if you were to
need me to
put
help
it
you?
on the bottom.
You need me to help you put that up there?
No.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to grab it from behind me. It starts with the cornerstone and ends the cornerstone. I didn't press it, don't need to, because I'm going to be pressing it when I roll it back. I'm just going to nest this first cornerstone seam. I'm also going to back stitch. Even though there's another border going on here, I still want to back stitch because it's heavy. And by the time I get from here to pressing, I don't want those cornerstones to pop open. It's happened before on heavy quilts. So I'm just going to sew a little bit till I can get that final seam within my hand. Everything is all the correct size. Just a little bit more because I can't reach it yet. You can pin them on, like I say every time. You can pin if you want, but I don't find the need to. I just use my fingers as the pins and just hold the seam before I get to it, you know. Adjusting and as I go, not stretching or pulling on anything. I'm gonna nest this seam. It lines up perfectly. Everything's flat. No waving or anything. I use my fingers to hold the seam until it's on here directly, and then I just hold it. Stop in that seam and line up the next one. Stop in that seam and adjust. I know you guys really can't see what I'm doing either.
Do you want me to put the camera over there?
No, it's fine. sewing rental. Grabbing this next one. Everything was cut exactly to size. Just holding it with my finger. I'm almost done with this and we can start cutting the border. I'll probably start that secondary project before this is quilted because I still have more videos on the ideas of quilting in Dresden for you guys. So, plus I don't have backing fabric for this anyway.
Well, one of these days, just take a day off and we'll tell her, let's go to Hobby Lobby. She can meet us there or come with us or, you know? You know what I mean?
Alright, now I'm going to back stitch right here at the end. And then I'm going to take it over and press it. I'm just going to roll it back. So I'm going to lay the most part up here flat. Let the rest fall off my table. I'm just going to warm the seam up real quick because this is a longer one. And then roll it back. Lots of steam. Steam really helps. I got threads sticking out of my seams. I usually trim all those when I go to quilt the quilt. Alright, so I'm going to press this side down. I'm just going to preheat the seam and then roll it back. Okay. So, for video's sake, this is what your nested seams should look like. Can you see that really good in the camera? Because you're not behind it to
yet.
tell me.
I can't tell you yet.
So your
You're
nested
holding it
seams
up a little high.
should land just like that. And that's without pinning or anything. Everything should land on your corners really nicely, nice and straight. Your seams right here should nest all the way.
I'll just come back here and tell you.
Okay. So,
Oh, you done
now
showing
to
it
cut border. I'm going to just lay this right here on the floor. And we're going to go with, I always cut extra, you guys know this. So, I'm going to say,
Do you want me to measure how big and long it is?
I'm going to fold this in half real quick. You can stop here if you want and not add that last border, but I'm pretty sure most of you bought the fabric for that. Line it up. And I'm going to say, fold it in half. This is 2 strips. Definitely. Just measure for me while I hold it.
Stop making everything so difficult. 51.
So that's 2.5 strips for that direction.
That's 102.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips for the top or sides. That's the sides, and this is the top and bottom.
We'll say 39.
Okay, so I need 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 9 strips to go all the way around. 9 strips. Just lay that right there. So let's open our border fabric, which I haven't done that yet either.
So it's 102 by 78 so far. That's a big quilt.
So she's getting a queen size quilt. Alright, border fabric. I don't even have to, since it's already so big, I think I'm going to go with, instead of 5-inch, I think I'm going to do 4-inch cuts.
Hi, Nita.
No, we'll just make it big size in case she wants to switch out her quilts on her bed, you know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to press this real quick because it's not very flat fabric. This is very, very messy. I only got 2 yards.
Bring it back over here again.
Oh wow, this is very, very not even at all. What? I hate when fabric is off the bolt like that. So I like to straighten it out. I line up the selvages and I make sure that nothing is bowing. And it's not now. I'm recutting it, or repressing it out because it's really messed up.
Oh, Sherry's going to be starting a Crevis for MS while in rehab.
That's good.
Isn't that one you've had?
No, Previous is the one I didn't do because of cancer.
Okay.
You couldn't have any even skin cancer, remember?
Yes.
And I already had the skin cancer on my face. So I just didn't do it because it
Yes.
causes more problems. But it's a good one because it's once every 6 months. Or once a year or something like that. Just lining it up and pressing a new crease fold so it's nice and straight. And I'm just going to cut 5-inch because that way I can just make it and be done. So I'm going to line these 2 tops up and lay it on my cutting mat. But I'm also going to turn the camera for you guys, that you could be back in my area over there.
I'm right here.
So I'm going to put the shortest one crossing a line. I'll line up this on the top. Just fold it exactly in half. The shortest is crossing, shortest is crossing, crossing, and crossing. Okay. I'll line my...
Do you have the rubber piece that blocks the auto cutter on the pedal on your Juki?
No.
Okay. Carissa's debating getting one. She wants to know if it's worth it.
I don't really touch it unless I touch it, the auto cutter on the foot. I mean, I never really have a problem with it. I'm going to do this. Alright, now that's straightened up and I'm going to come over 5 inches. I'm just going to cut in 5-inch increments, and I'm cutting how many strips did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 9 5-inch strips.
51 by 39 was your numbers. That's all I remember.
Alright. 1, 2. Three, 4. 5, 6.
Carissa says she hits hers a lot. She had to turn the pedal sideways so she
7,
doesn't hit it,
8.
but it's driving her crazy.
And one more to make 9. I just folded that out of the way. So I don't really want to cut too much.
Auntie Ann said she thought it was 4-inch border strips.
No, I decided to go with 5. That way the client can use it on her king-size bedroom quilt as a queen-size, on her king-size bedroom quilt if she wanted to lay it on, because it's turning out bigger than I had thought. Way bigger than I had thought. Because I never do anything accurately. I always go big. Every time. So now I'm just going to stack these up, cut all the selvages off at the same exact time. And then cut them and sew them. Just going to line them up, cut them all off at the same exact time. Line this up. And that.
Yeah, the Acretus is every 6 months, Katrina said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was right.
Alright. Salvages are all off. I'm going to stack them on top of each other, sew them all together, and have one super duper long border. I'm not going to do the correct way. You guys can measure the top, cut your border to that top size. Measure the sides once the top and bottom are on, and then cut it to that size. I'm not going to do that because I'm not in the mood. I'm just going to do it my way. Pull out the bottom piece. Sew the next two. And I'm going to back stitch all these too because they're the outer border. Now I'm going to grab the next two. I'm just going to make one long strip, and instead of cutting it to size like I did with the sashing, I'm just going to sew on the top, sew on the bottom, sew on the sides.
Auntie Ann says, I guess my brain fell asleep for a minute.
I don't have an issue when I do borders this way with wavy borders because I don't stretch or tug or pull on my fabrics, so I've never really had much of a problem with that. I just lay them on there and sew. I let the machine do the work and my hands just hold everything still. That's all they do. And I'm not putting diagonal seam, I'm doing straight seam. Because for me, I feel that that makes everything look correct. The only thing I do diagonal seams on is binding. The last two to sew together. So if you want to be accurate, do it the accurate way. If you want to be like me, a rebel, and just do whatever because it's easy to just do whatever, then do whatever. I'm not even pressing these. I'm just going to find my starting point like this. I'm going to pick this whole thing up off the floor and put it on my right side on the floor, not under a wheel. I'm just going to lay it right here. I'm going to grab the quilt and I'm going to find
I can hand it to you.
the top
You rebel.
first and then the bottom, and I'm just going to sew it like I normally do.
Is there a difference between the actual top and bottom? Can it go either
Yeah,
way?
3 across. The top is 3 wide. The sides are, it doesn't matter which is the top or
Yes,
bottom
that's what I'm
anymore.
asking you though. The very
No,
top
it's not
and the very bottom.
directional, no.
I know the sides and the top are different length and different width. Yes, that I got. I just meant the actual top.
Oh,
and
no,
top.
there's no, it's not directional now.
Okay, so then it doesn't really matter.
So I'm going to take my long piece, I'm going to line it up here, I'm just going to lay it on there. Okay, this is the easiest thing to do and not have super nasty borders. I'm going to back stitch, And then I'm just going to put my first finger, my thumb on the top, first finger underneath, and the rest of my fingers underneath the quilt itself. And I'm just going to lay it on here and let it, I'm just going to let it go. Just adjust. I'm not pulling, I'm not putting any pressure with my fingers. They're just guiding the fabric in between my first finger and middle finger, keeping them straight. And then I use my thumb and first finger at the same exact time to line everything up.
No worries, Ken. If you zone out, you can always ask us questions. Tiff will re-explain. No big deal. People come in at all different times too, so they miss stuff.
If you want, Scott, you can pick up the camera and bring it over here so that they can
okay.
see how I do this.
Give me something to do. Yes, please. Let me help. And I have to shut up your iron, too.
Now you gotta put your hand on the black part.
I just do this every time.
You gotta let it make that sound.
All I do is do that every time.
So again,
I've been doing it since you
just
got
so you
the
guys
iron.
can see, my thumb is on top, my first finger is here, and these 3 fingers are going under the quilt. So like this, under the quilt, on top of my finger, thumb on top. And I use this, so if you can see right here, I'm literally using my thumb and first finger to do this, and then my middle finger and first finger is just keeping the fabric straight, right at the tip of my finger. So that way I just line it up, I just readjust, line it up. I'm not pulling anything, I'm letting it flow through my fingers. Just line it up.
Katrina said she blames you for her sewing binding on many quilts.
So I'm just lining it up. And my fingers are lining it up as I go too without pulling or tugging. So just keep everything flat.
Does that help? Is that better?
Come through like this, and I'm coming close to the end so you can see how I do this. I've been doing this forever, ever, because I'm not an accurate, I never do anything accurately.
Can you turn that light off on the actual machine?
Nope. So my fingers are running through, and as soon as the bottom of this reaches the tray, I'm going to cut. You guys are going to see. So
Okay,
now,
Vicky, you have a good day.
it's on the bottom. It's all lined up. I'm just going to pick up this piece, lay it on top right here, just like this. And I'm going to line, keeping everything flat. I'm going to line the piece up itself and the fold that I'm creating at the edge of the quilt, just like this. So I'm going to line that up. I'm going to take my scissors and I just cut like this. Just like that. So you can see it's a nice line.
Always make it look so easy.
And that's it. It's on. So let's put the bottom on now. Let's just grab this, turn the whole thing around. Lay that behind me for a second. I put this on my lap.
Angela says you're a pro.
Here. Like, I've never had a wavy border problem doing that. And Donna Jordan actually does the same exact thing. She doesn't always measure accurately. And now on my border, I'm going to switch to the opposite end so that there's an equal amount, because I know that it didn't land on a seam. I'm going to lay this up here so that it's square. I'm going to start with the back stitch and leave the needle down. And again, thumb on top, first finger in the middle, the rest of everything underneath. The rest of the quilt is sitting on my table. My other hand just rests on top. I'm not, see, this is what yanking does. You can see it's bowing. Don't yank, just lay it there. Let it lay on top. Not yanking, just using my fingers to adjust as I go so that everything stays straight. I have some pulling going because the thing is laying on the floor funny. Better close that blade and move it out of the way.
Yeah, don't accidentally cut it back.
I use my other hand to just steady the quilt as well. Find this. Line it up on here. No pulling or tugging. I didn't even press. Just using my fingers to line everything up. Keeping it all nice and flat. I'm gonna let that seam just go the way the sewing machine pushes it, because when I press it, it's gonna go that way anyway. So I'm coming up on the table now, almost. So I'm on the table, keep the quilt straight, lay the fabric on it, fold it up on top of itself. You can use your arm to lay it on. Put the straight line here, put the straight line of the fabric folded like this, and then make your crease right at the edge. Slide the scissors while you hold it, and then cut.
Have you decided how you're going to quilt this one?
Yes, I know how I'm quilting this one. That's why I'm giving you guys tons of ideas. So now we're going to take this over and press.
Hi, Bernie.
Okay, you can go that way.
Are we not telling them till you do that video? Honey?
What, quilting this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to finish the other videos first.
Okay. So you know how you're just keeping it
Yes.
secret? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you have to tell me this. I don't know because they're asking.
So I'm going to set the seam real quick, push my seam down. And from this side, I'm going to start rolling it back. Rolls back nicely. Everything is super flat and super square.
Hi, Heather. Heather says I learned something new. Thanks, Tiff.
Yeah, I find that way the easiest and most fastest way, instead of having to measure and pin. I know you guys should follow the way you do things or other quilters, but there's technically no rules. I've never had a problem.
Hi, Bernie.
So I feel
Hi,
do
DB.
what works for you, and if this method works for you and you find it easier and you get things done faster, then do it. Because for me, it's easier and I get things done faster. So, top is now pressed. I'm going to flip it to the bottom. And the reason why I went with a dark print on the outside, as you guys can see, is because it's just creating an elongated, more of a border. It still flushes. You could probably put a smaller, this one before that one if you wanted, but I wanted a dark one so that it kind of just makes the border look longer, like an illusion. Plus, this print is not in the quilt at all. This is black one. But
But it
it's
looks
from the
good.
same line,
It looks really good.
and it looks good, yes. It looks great with it, actually.
What colors are you thinking for backing fabric? Do you even have any colors in mind?
Like a brown.
Yeah.
So I heated it up. I'm just rolling it back now.
Kristen says, I think that comes with experience, Tiff, doing it that way.
Yeah.
And she says, so pretty. Kathleen says, it looks like a frame.
Yeah. It's just a black on black or black on gray tone that has leaves in it. Just continuous leaves. I find that the color just makes it look bigger. That's all. The border, I mean. So I'm just going to come over here now. And that sound is my iron cord stuck on my fan.
Yep, it's hitting it.
Okay, so top and bottom are now on. So now to put the sides on. So I'm just going to grab this whole entire thing, what's in front of me, come over here, and we're going to attach the sides. So I'm going to lay it on me.
Do you want me to hold that over there again?
If you want, yeah. So they can see once it's
Yeah.
got the other borders on. I'm going to put the most of this side on me. The rest of it's going to go right here on the table because it's heavy.
I can pick it up, put it on the table for you.
Alright, so now I have my border on here. We're going to grab this. And I'm going to start it right here. I'm going to lay it right here for a second. And I'm just going to, with my fingers, just line it up like this and come down. Because I'm getting a general idea if it's going to land on a seam or not. Because I just did one continuous piece, you know. So I want to see if it's going to land on a seam.
DB says, I just love this quilt.
I'm just going to continue on down, and no, it does not land on a seam. So we're going to come back to the top. I'll line it up. So you can see, even the way I cut it, look at how perfect that corner is. It's perfect. It lays on it perfectly. I'm just going to back stitch right here, and then do the same exact thing with my fingers, and holding, not pulling, not tugging, not stretching, just sewing. I just keep the quilt nice and flat. It's like my fingers down here are a guide, you know, keeping it from going too far this way, as well as I'm adjusting this with those two fingers. And then I just use my left hand to keep it flat on the way through the machine.
Heather says, I feel like they should make that binding thing that Becca sent you in a larger size.
Oh, they
bigger
should,
borders.
yes. I put 15 strips on it last night, and it stuck out. It didn't go on there nicely, so it doesn't hold 15 strips of 2.5-inch binding. Sorry, I had some shredding of the fabric. I don't care what anyone says, all fabric brands shred. Somebody was saying one day, I don't remember who, on another live stream that I was on, saying that, oh, I bought Walmart fabric and it shredded so bad that it was falling apart. Well, guess what? Look at this. It all shreds. This is Moda. Come on now. It all shreds. It's fabric. The more you move it, the more it'll shred. So.
Krista says, yep.
I use any kind of fabric except for polyester now. I just use the polyester for, like, as, like, the holding down, like if I was going to make, like, foundation blocks or something. So you can see the shredding gets stuck up in your presser foot, and it drags it more and shreds it more.
Kathleen says, fingers are simply a guide to the fabric. My grandma taught in the same way when I was little. It's
Yeah.
like your hands are part of the machine.
Yep, that's all I'm doing. It's just guiding it.
DB says all fabric does that. It always has and always will.
Somebody was just saying that, trying to say that all fabrics are cheap, and they was trying to say that Walmart's and like Hobby Lobby's fabrics and Joann's fabrics are so cheap they shred, but if you buy the good brands, they don't. I'm like, but I'm using Moda right now, and it's not, you know, it's shredding just the same as the rest. Some may shred more than others, but I think they all shred the same. Alright, so I'm gonna...
Krista says, I bought a bowl of black Kona and it shredded so bad.
Oh, yes.
She says it's how much you're handling the fabric.
Yep. So I'm gonna lay this on here instead of using my fingers, so you can see now the backing is on. I'm gonna put a little bit further, like right there. So I'm gonna lay it on there so it's equal with this side. I'm gonna flip this up.
And you're gonna cut it?
Just like this, and you can see I have so much shredding stuff up here. I'm gonna lay that on there. I'm gonna line this fold up. I'm gonna line this edge up, stick my scissors in, and cut. And I held it at the same time, so you can see it's a nice square. Just gonna back stitch, and that border is now on. So let's flip the whole thing. Grab the other side now. And since I knew that that was not going to end on a, I'm just going to go over here now and grab this opposite end, because again, I just flipped it around. So not the side that I just cut right now, I'm on the side that I cut from the top, because I know that when this gets to the end, it's not going to end on a seam. So I'll pick this whole thing up now, stick it up here.
I can help you.
Just like that. I'm going to find the rest of this side and put it on my lap. Just like this. Line this end up. Just like this. So I have a nice square. Back stitch. I'm just laying it on here.
Hi,
Not
Kathy.
stretching or pulling it, nothing.
Kathy says, I ordered that magnetic 1/4 inch seam that you have from Wish.
Yes, I love this thing. I have one for both machines.
She's just waiting for it to come.
I can't keep track of this 1/4 inch line when I'm sewing. For some reason my eyes just don't see it. I see the fabric. I watch the fabric, not the seam line. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. You can see even I veer off. I don't mean to. It happens. I just go back to the stitch when I realize I've veered off so that I don't have a wrinkle there. And it stays flat. I'm definitely someone who requires a guide because that would happen all the time if I didn't have a guide. I would always be stitching to the side and end up with some places a 1/4 inch and some places a scant 1 inch.
Plus, you're so speedy with it. Tiff's over here like the race is on. Hi, Judy.
Yep.
This quilt looks so awesome, honey.
Okay, so I'm gonna just flip this, get it all adjusted.
Sometimes it's like it's a shame it has to be sold. You know?
Yep, that's what I was saying earlier. Wish I had enough of this, I'd make myself one. All these exact colors, because it's like perfect. They work great together. No wonder it was a popular line. Just know you're going to have a super extra large quilt by the time you guys are done. Oops, that seam wanted to flip right before I got to it. I'm going to use you in a second.
Well, if I don't move it, it ain't going to shut up.
So. Alright, coming up on the end soon. Laying everything nice and flat. I'm going to fold this up on itself. You can see 9 strips was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at that. I did good on that one. I'm going to make that little crease. I'm going to hold this whole top part and just cut at the fold. And now it's a straight back stitch. And I am done with that much left. So that can go with my scraps. And now I'm going to press these, and I'm just going to kind of hold some of it up so you guys can see the corners, because this is too big now to, we don't have CJ here to have one person hold each end. So
I can hold it up the best in the middle that I can, and you can show them.
Or we can lay it on the living room floor maybe.
We could do that, yeah. We got better lighting out there now.
If my bedroom was clean, I'd just say lay it on the bed.
What's
Then
wrong in
it's
the
gonna
bedroom?
get thread everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's true. It will get thread everywhere. It has thread all over it.
I'm just rolling it back. Everything's so flat and square. No creases, no bumps, no lumps, no folds. It's perfect. It's really nice to have a big ironing board, let me tell you guys. I am so glad we did this when we did. It would be a struggle if I didn't, and I know some of you guys don't have big boards like this, but if you could ever just turn your small board into a big board.
Hi Billy, hi Judy.
Big quilts are easy to press on this. Alright, other side. Alright, so just to recap while I'm pressing. 2 big Dresdens like this across by 3 down would make a twin because I'm totally off, obviously. And then 3 across by 4 down is queen or full queen. And then 4 across by 4 down would be a king with borders. Everything's with borders. So right now we're at queen king in between, pretty much. And I didn't mean to do that, guys. Trust me. It just happens every time I design a quilt. Sorry it happened during the sew along. But you guys are all going to have a nice, big, huge quilt. So hopefully you have somebody in your life or yourself that you have a nice, big bed to put it on. Or they do. And since most people have queen and king size beds these days, look at that. It'll work perfect. It would make a perfect wedding gift. Something like this. Big old Dresden, I think. Try to keep everything flat on my iron board.
Kathy says I've made 2 tops that I'm waiting to put borders on. Watching you is giving me confidence.
Awesome. Well, I'm hoping that how I showed you guys just now on the borders helps. I've never had a problem, ever. And I long arm all of my stuff. The only time I have waves is when I'm long arming my nice straight quilt with, 8-ounce loft batting or 6-ounce loft batting. Anything less, I don't have a problem, so. Alright. So, here's the corner. I'm going to go find a place on the living room floor to lay this and turn all the lights on out there, and I'll be right back. Scott can just read comments.
Alright, okay.
Just read what's there.
Show you guys what other fabric we got, I guess. Here. The leftovers of the pile. You guys all like looking at fabric. And DB's only going to make a throw size of 4 blocks.
It's not as huge as we thought, so.
Here, I'll come out here now. Wow, that's beautiful.
There it is. The fan is blowing it. Sorry about that.
I see. It's okay.
So you guys can see there's no waves in the borders or in the sashing. Those were cut to size. The borders were cut to size while they were on.
And Kathy says, wow.
Is it really clear?
Pretty good, yes.
Because the fan keeps blowing. It looks longer only because my mats on the floor are gray or black. But
Yes, I see that.
so while it's right here, I'm going to measure it.
Do you want me to
No,
get on an end?
Just hold the quilt, hold the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely clean. 86, so I was off by 10 inches.
So they're saying
75.
stunning, wow, beautiful,
So it's 86 wide by...
well over 100.
By 111. 86 by 111, so it's queen. So if you would have knocked off this bottom row right here, it would have been fine.
Jim says, like the way they look like they're spinning.
Yes, because they're all different. They're not put together in the same direction. What do you guys think? You can come. Yeah, give me that.
I want to walk on it. You walk there now. I'll go get the thing you can read. There's one says anything. If there's any questions.
Okay. Come on. The fan is blowing this over and over.
You're getting holy moly, so beautiful. Does anyone have any questions?
So the pieced ones are down the middle. So 86 by 111. It's like perfect.
DB says these aren't usually my colors, but this quilt is just gorgeous.
Yep.
It must be Tiff's talent.
Thumper's
that makes me
approving.
love it.
He's walking directly on it. He's like, okay, it's cool. So there it is, guys. You can see nice and flat. You can't even see the border because it's on the black right there, but we'll come over here. You can see perfect corner. Sorry about the lighting. That's not that dark. The lighting is screwed up in here. So.
Well, that's because you're over in the corner where it's darker. Better lighting would be over there and over here, I guess.
It lays perfectly flat. All right, let's take this back to the room. Sneak peek. Whoop. Okay, that's all you guys get. The long arm. The next video. All right. So
oh, yeah, that's your next. Yes, that's right.
All right, so we're gonna stick this right here. I'm gonna pick that off the floor real quick before Thumper has a heyday with it.
I could have went and did that. You could talk to people. Or not.
Can you go turn all those lights off then? All right. So, I was talking to Kim this morning.
Judy says that's beautiful.
We were talking and chatting, and I needed something to sew. So this morning, I'll show you guys a little something that I was bored. I wasn't bored because I was talking to Kim. I was like, I just want to play with fabric for a while, and I've never.
Is it deep red or brown?
It's purple, actually. This color.
There's purple.
This is a purple. It's
and this is absolutely gorgeous.
I'll read it to you on Selvage again. Through the Years by Kansas Troubles for Moda, and this is the purple. That's the first border, and then the second border is Sweet Holly by Kansas Troubles for Moda, and it's the black. It's black and gray. Black on black, whatever you want to call it. So, where was I? I was talking to Kim. Kim's here. And I've never, ever sewn a wallet. I've sewn bags. Plenty of bags. But I've never sewn a wallet. So this morning, just like less than an hour, I made a wallet. I created it. I just brought myself in a dollar bill and my insurance card, because it's like the size of a credit card. And I thought that I would have fun with it. And I didn't do perfect because I've never made a wallet and I never designed a wallet. But
it came out good.
I made a wallet. So let me bring it up to the camera so you guys can see. And it's purple. You can see that I got that centered son of a bench. And it says things like bull shirt and ash hole and son of a bench and holy mother forking shirt balls. Seriously. So I was too big on my fold, for my snap. So I tri-folded it and made it look really cool because I didn't know how to fix that after the fact. I put a magnetic snap on it, right there. And then when it opens, it has the billfold for dollars right here. And then it has the credit card slots. Now the bottom credit card slots were a little too short, so I need to fix that, in my next wallet. It needs to be wider this way when I complete it. But the top slots fit the cards perfectly. These ones just stick out to about right here, right at this edge. So there is my first ever wallet. And again, the only thing I really need to change is the width right here, because this length was perfect, and then the length of my snap closure. So I made that this morning. Cute, right? Becca gave me this fabric because I had been looking for it. It was just scraps, so it's really cool. It has let me grab it from down here. It says stuff like forkety fork, fork, son of a bench, ash hole, holy mother forking shirt balls. There's other words on it.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard. Yep, that's what it says. All those words. So I made myself this wallet. Cool, right? And I did with the purple thread. Yeah, I think I did put, and I sewed a seam down the center so that the fold always doesn't like wrinkle this up. But there's
you done
fusible,
with it?
yes.
Can I unplug it? Oh, I could have done it.
There's fusible interfacing and fusible fleece in here because I wanted it thick, you know, but.
What is fusible fleece? I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yep, it's fusible fleece. This right here. It's fleece, nice, like normal fleece that you would hook, you know, whatever you make a design wall out of fleece. And then the other side is super pokey because it's glue. So, yeah, I made this today because I was like, wanted to sew something. So I'm going to figure out how to change that width, and then that's the only thing that needs to change for that credit card slot, for the first slot. So look forward to me making a video. Look forward to me making a quick and easy video on making this soon. I just need to change some numbers up. And yeah, I think that'll be awesome sauce. Alright, so I did that. Quilt is now done. It's just in a bunch sitting there. That's how it came out. I'm sorry that it's not twin and that it's queen. But y'all are going to have a big quilt, so that's that. And then I got a couple more videos on the Dresden quilting ideas. I'm sorry that I'm using red fabric, or red thread on red fabric, and it blends perfectly. Somebody told me to change the lighting, and then I watched a couple other videos, and you know what? I turned this light off, that light off, this light, turned this one on instead, that one on. I tried putting the camera in a different, no matter what I did, you couldn't see the red thread on the red fabric. So obviously you guys can see the machine moving, and I explained what I'm doing along the way. So hopefully those videos are helping.
Heather says wallets to go with the bags. There you go. DB says, can I ask you to do a tutorial for us?
Yeah, I'll be doing a tutorial. I just got to change the size. I got to change the size of what I'm doing. The numbers. I didn't even write it down. It's all in my head. So, yeah, that's all I got to do. And then I can show you guys. And it doesn't use much fabric. I used like a 9 by 12 or 9 by 14, that's what it was. 9 by 14 inch piece of fabric, and then the inner side was also a 9 by 14 inch piece of fabric. It's going to change in size though when I do this. So 2 fat quarters will make this, and you'll get 2 bags out of 2 fat quarters. Or I mean 2 wallets out of 2 fat quarters probably, which is perfect. You know, and then some interfacing. So we'll see. As soon I got to get the numbers correct, and then we'll.
Hold on. If 2 fat quarters will make that, but yet you said you'll get 2 wallets out of it, so 1 fat quarter will make it.
I used a 9 by 15 inch, 2 9 by 15 inch pieces. Fat quarters 18 by 22, so I would get 2.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And then interfacing. I don't know if I'm going to use fleece next time though, because it really is. It was really hard to sew with the fleece in there, but.
Hi, Mary. Mary
it's
just
nice
got
and
here.
thick, so that works perfect. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you all for following along. We're not completely
Mary wants
done.
to know what she missed real quick.
I made a wallet. Not today, though. No, I finished the Dresden. I'll kind of hold up a corner here. Let me just grab a corner.
Do you want me to hold up one end?
Here's a corner. So imagine that and super huge.
Here, I can hold up one end.
So literally that. This is in its sideways mode. So
Heavy.
yes, it's very heavy.
It's going to be one heavy quilt.
Yep. That's it. Actually, I'm just going to fold it up now because
You want me to help you? Yeah.
whatever, you know the word. It's heavy, so I'm going to fold it. Anyway, so I really appreciate you guys following along. I'm sorry about saying it's a twin when it turns out a queen, when I'm supposed to make a twin, but you guys know how that works with me. I see big quilts.
Hold on, I can get the ends. Yep. Here's an end. Where's the other one?
He's so slow at this folding quilt thing.
I just grabbed it. I didn't grab it when you did.
Alright.
Calm down.
Just know the more you hold a heavy quilt like this up, the more chances you have of stretching your borders. So, if you're going to show it off, show it off. When it's not quilted, show it off only once or lay it on a floor like I did, instead of holding it up, so that way you're not stretching or pulling anything. And then fold it. and keep it aside until you're ready to quilt. Nice and folded. That way nothing is out of, I'm not even going to press before I quilt it either because it's like super flat. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This was video 7, right? Yep, video 7.
Yeah.
And the next thing to do besides quilting it, like I said, you guys are going to have idea videos first. I got to get those done while I purchase the backing for this. Is the next set of videos is going to be, they're still Dresdens. Still Dresdens. Is going to be making the wall hanging, which you guys can make into a wall hanging. Mine is a wall hanging in a frame, so it's not even getting backing fabric. It's just, it's going to get quilted in a frame. I know you're like, huh, how do you do that? Well, it'll look weird, but it's permanently going in a frame, so it only needs a top and some batting, and a really thin layer of batting at that.
Well,
all right.
Are we going to be on again tomorrow at 11 to do that?
No, I'm going to take tomorrow off.
Okay.
Because I got to get those idea videos done. So tomorrow, no live stream. I'm going to just post videos for the next couple days of quilting ideas, okay? And that's it. Because I was able to get it all done.
Yeah, so tomorrow won't be on at 11.
Yeah, I won't be on live tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll be on with Becca tomorrow, though, for those of you. I'll be on Sewing with Becca tomorrow on Friday nights live with Becca. So just know that. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So,
when are you going to start that wall hanging thing? Do you know?
in a couple days. I'm going to finish the other side projects with the ideas. Okay. That's it. Everything's updated? Sure.
Anybody have any questions?
Questions before I get off of here, because I'm not holding that quilt up again, so you got to ask. Every single video has all the directions in it verbally and how many things I cut. So if yesterday I cut 16 pieces plus 7 plus 1 extra today, I had plenty to do my sashing. And then I cut 9 for my border, 9 5-inch strips for my border, and so on and so forth. Okay? And then the blocks were 23.5 inches instead of 24 because I had a boo-boo block and so on and so forth. So all the previous videos, they're on a playlist. If you want to just play them all over, so be it. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I need to eat and take a nap and then quilt on the long arm. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share my videos, and I will see you guys on Sunday on my own live and tomorrow night with Becca. So bye, everybody.
Bye.